and welcome back to Drawing with Mrs. Mills. How are you today? Happy Tuesday. Today, again, you are going to see my wonderful hands, but you're also going to see my face because we are going to use my face as a reference for our drawing this afternoon. A couple of things about that. This is a picture I took of myself because I knew that I could use it. There's no copyright issues. For you can try to take a picture of yourself to work from, or you can use a picture from the internet of a profile of a person for your own learning. A lot of times students think that it's illegal to draw another drawing or to copy an artist's work, and because you're learning and you're beginners, you can copy anything you want. You just can't sell it or make YouTube's videos with it, which is why I'm using my own reference today. Why am I using reference? Everything else I've done, I've just done from my brain. And I'll tell you why, because the profile's a little tricky and I know I can draw it better if I have some reference. That doesn't mean that I'm not a good artist because I can't just make it up. It just means I know that I'm going to be more accurate with a little more reference. So I snapped this fantastic picture of myself and upped the contrast a little bit so you could see it. So let's start talking about drawing in profile. Now remember what I said yesterday. When you're in profile, here is the central line of the face, right? And here's the eye with that V shape. And here's the shape of the eyebrow coming back this way. And the nose. Here's our chin. Let's just test some of our lines. Now, if I bring a line out from the eye, you can see my head's tilted a little bit. So the ear line is a little bit higher here. Here's my chin, the back of my jaw. Let's check for thirds here. So if I come here to the hairline, to the bottom of the nose, to the chin, is that thirds? It might be hard for you to see my marks, but let's check. 1. It's pretty close. Again, most people are not 100% perfect thirds, but we're pretty close. We can check on thirds for the mouth too. 1, 2, 3. So it's pretty close. Let's talk about constructing this head in a drawing. So one mistake a lot of people do when they're drawing in profile is they don't leave enough space for the back of the head. Really, as you can see, the back of the head comes back pretty far. Now there's hair there too, but you want to keep in mind that your back, even though the egg is a good start, it really does come back a little bit further. And let's put in that central line and our thirds. So 1, 2, 3. Now the nice thing about having my drawing right next to my reference is I can do a quick pull across and just check to see if I'm accurate. Now I'm starting with that curved line, but we're gonna fix that as we go along. Just like before, I don't want a floating head, so I'm gonna do this angle coming in this way. Now look at this angle. It kind of comes in from the base of the nose like this. It's pretty extreme because my head is tilted forward a little bit. So I'm gonna just start to sketch in all of the neck, and we're gonna work on that profile line. Now, a lot of us go to draw this and we get in real tight and we try to just perfectly get that line in there. And I'm gonna encourage you to go loose. You'll see I kind of hold my pencil like this and try to sketch in using your lines that you put in as thirds as guides, the way the nose comes out. And then if you look, now I wish I could show this a little brighter, but there's kind of a line that goes this way. You can check that angle from the chin to the nose. Looks a little funny, but it's gonna help me. So, also, if you drop a straight line right here from where the eye meets there, straight down, you kind of get the corner of the nostril. I know this is a lot more technical than what we've been doing, which is why I have the reference. So you're going to work on drawing this outside profile line as accurately as you can. Here's the ball we talked about. You can see it's right here. And then your nostril is going to come up and then wrap around. So it actually comes up and wraps around like this underneath. I'm trying to draw that nice and clear so you can see it. And this all falls along a curve here, or not a curve, a line. So if you can see how it comes up and then down. My line was a little steep. Actually, should have been out a little further. I would say that drawing the profile is pretty challenging. I've got a good grasp on the beginning of the profile here. I want to check this curve into the neck. It's sort of a straight and then curve. And I don't want to forget that there's another shoulder back here. And even going to sketch in an idea of the shirt. All right, our eyeballs. We've been talking a lot about eyes. How do I know how much width? Well, I am going to look here and kind of get an idea of where I want that eyeball to be. A lot of your head, of course, is your hair, or if you don't have hair, sort of the back of your head, all that. So I want to get the idea of that started. And the ear. So remember we looked over here, our ear was a little bit higher. I'm just going to block in that ear. Where's the bottom? The bottom of my ear falls almost at level with the nose. And this back here is all hair. If you're a sculptor, you'd ignore this hair for a pretty long time because it's all just sitting on top of the forms. But I want to just give an idea of where it is. So you want to make sure that everything, that you have enough back of the head. That's a really common thing to forget. So I'm just going to kind of block in where everything goes. You can see when I started drawing, I might have put the jaw way back here where it should not be. The jaw is actually about here, coming in, and the ear angles off. You might notice that when I draw, I make a lot of corrections. And a really good teacher once told me a drawing is a series of corrections. And I will tell you the truth, I often don't get it right on the first time, which is why it's a little scary to draw this for you, because I feel like you think I get it right all the time. And I actually make a lot of little corrections. If you watch me when I draw, you'll see I'm just tweaking things here and there. And that's really the best thing you can do. You want to work the whole image, but you want to make corrections as you go. So let's put in that V shape for my eye. Now my eyelid, I remember yesterday I showed you the eyelid and you drew it like this. My eyelid actually folds into the upper eyelid, so you won't see that top part. So it's just a little, some people have hooded eyes and some people don't. Mine, you can't see that top part of my eyelid in profile. And I want to make sure I get this form here. Coming back, and my eyebrow coming back in here. And this coming up. It was pushing out a little bit. So I'm going to make lots of little corrections as I go, which is good. You want to make corrections as you go. You never should feel like you have to draw something perfectly the first time. You want to get better as you go and keep practicing. Now, I think I cut that back a little too far, so I'm going to come in. All right, so I'm going to put a little bit of shade in the eye. I'm going to put a little bit of this. You can see there's a shadow coming in here that's underneath the zygomatic arch. And there's also a nice big shadow under here. Again, I'm just coming in and making corrections. You don't want to get too wild on your details till you have everything figured out. The nostril, the ball of the nose. I really upped the brightness and contrast in my picture, so you can't see a lot of details. But that's okay. I'm just trying to show you the big shapes today. And once I got sort of everything blocked in, then I can start to go in and do these details and do the big moves of the hair. I think my neck looks a little thin, so I actually want to come down and fix this a little bit. Looks a little thin from side to side, so I'm gonna beef that up a little bit. I'm gonna come through really quickly and just put in some of the details of the hair, following the shapes. My hair was really messy this morning when I took this picture. Of course, you can always take artistic license. If I want my hair to look better, I could just draw it better if you want. You don't have to draw exactly what you see when you draw from reference. You can always change things up. It's your drawing. No one's going to compare your drawing to the photograph. Now, I'm going to come through with my pencil and clean up my lines a little bit. I'm going to add some more detail to the eye. I'm going to, I could probably spend all day just putting more details in and adding shading, adding the ear, all that. Ears are really fun. I should probably do a little lesson just on ears because they're super fun to draw. They have all kinds of little nooks and crannies. This ear is mostly hidden. All right, so I'm gonna come in here. The lips on the profile are really simplified, sort of just this half shape and then a bottom shape. And usually you'll look, this one kind of comes out a little further and this drops down behind. And also the planes of the chin. I'm gonna make sure you get that put in. All right, so at this point, I'm about done. I hope this wasn't too hard for you today. I really recommend you find a profile picture. It can be anybody. Just if you can find one to draw from, either look at it on your phone, look at it on your laptop, or if the best thing you could do is print it out, because then you can do some of these little lines to help you. So if you have the ability to print something out, do it. Try to draw it about the same size as what you like. So I tried to draw this about the same size so I could do one-to-one comparisons. That's really helpful. And try not to make it too small, because if you draw really small, sometimes it's hard to see what you're doing. It really is helpful to draw a little bit bigger. And I'm going a little lighter with my pencil, putting in a little shading. Again, I could probably spend all day working on this, but you don't have time for a video that long. So I'm going to sign off. Thank you so much for drawing with me today. It really has been fun, and I can't wait to see what you do. Remember to just keep drawing and keep having fun. Thanks for drawing with Mrs. Mills. Bye-bye.